Hi guys. So I'm going to be answering you guys' questions I'm going to answer you guys' question from yesterday that you guys sent me last night. I have your guys' questions on here, so I'm just going to read off and then I'm going to let you guys know what's going on. So from Erica Miss Collins, your question was, my baby has white stuff on his tongue and I think it's milk, except there's 2 blue spots on the tips. Any ideas what it is? Now, I researched a lot about this stuff, and my nephew actually had this problem as well. A lot of people do think that the white stuff is for milk, but if you have the 2 blue spots, what it could be is thrush. Now, if you are now the blue spots, what it actually could be is could be the yeast, and why babies get this because their immunes are not strong enough, so to control the yeast growth. So it's not really a serious big thing where they need to go take them to the hospital or anything like that. But what you could do to treat it is you can use an antifungal medicine, but I would recommend that you ask your doctor beforehand, because sometimes it just clears away by itself. If you are breastfeeding, you want to make sure that after you're breastfeeding you use the lanolin cream, because you can pass the thrush from your baby with the yeast because of the breast and the mouth. So if you are breastfeeding, just make sure you use that before. Some tips that you could do from preventing this is make sure that you wash the bottles and nipples in hot water and with soap. I usually just fill the bottles with a little bit of soap and some water and just shake it together, and then dump the soapy water on top of the nipple so they can get really cleansed. And then make sure you have either put them upside down or something, or if you have a drying rack. And make sure if you have the bottles like I do, I have the Playtex ones, like the little vent air ones. Make sure you can disconnect all the little parts to it, because the bottom has that little plastic in there. You want to make sure it's dry all the way, because if you don't clean it all separate, then mold and yeast can grow on there, and bacteria. So you want to make sure that you clean all the bottles right, or maybe once a week or something like that. Maybe you should sterilize them in those little sterilized bags, just to make sure they're really, really clean, or you can boil them. Let's see, anything else you could use? Yeah, I just told you about that. Alright, so yeah, if you have any more questions, that white stuff could be milk, but it could be yeast as well. So if you have any more questions about that, it's not that serious. And make sure you don't scrape off anything that's on their tongue, because it could cause bleeding. I've seen people actually done that because they don't know what it is and they just try to scrape it off. So just leave it alone. It's not that big of a serious idea. If you want to get taken care of, ask your doctor about the antifungal liquid that they can take. So this is for, let's see, 1106 Crystal. And do you have any tips to make newborn sleep? Now this question, it's really crazy, because that's how my daughter was when she was 3 weeks, I think you said she was. She was 3 weeks old. Yeah. So my baby did that too. She would eat every 2 to 3 hours, and she would take 2.5 ounces or so, around there. And then at night she would just be up, she just didn't want to sleep for some reason, and it was really hard for me to put her to sleep because I was just so tired, especially in those beginning weeks. You're just so exhausted. Now what I did was, and what I know a lot of people are trying to do, if your baby is asleep a lot during the day, try to wake them up as long as you can. Keep them up, play with them, put them on their stomach, put them in a bouncer if she's big enough to be in a bouncer. Try to do anything to try to keep her up during the day, because then at night she'll be really tired. So you can try doing that. If she's like my baby and just did not wake up for any reason at all, you can try stripping her down into just her diaper, but make sure your house is not really cold. Just make sure it's nice and warm in there if you're going to put them in your diaper. Try to wake her up that way. Another thing you can do to try to get them to go to sleep at night is take them a warm bath. first, and then you can feed them after. And she usually used to do that really well if I took her a bath. And you can use that nighttime. I have that Baby Magic nighttime washing soap or whatever. You can try doing that, taking a bath, and then bottle after. And that will try to make her go to sleep. What I also had to do, if you're like trying to lay her down to sleep, like in her crib or something like that, that usually didn't work for her because she didn't like being by herself. So what I would do, I would either put her in the bed with me. I would put like a little, in her playpen, it came with like a little sleeper. So I would put the sleeper on the bed and I put her in there. And then when she fell asleep, I would transfer her into her crib. And she usually wouldn't wake up. So what you can do, hold her against your chest. And she usually falls asleep. That's the only way she falls asleep now. So hold her against your chest and wait till she falls asleep, and then you can put her down. They just really want a lot of contact with you, especially when they're that young. So, you know, try holding her, trying to put her to sleep, taking a bath, then giving her a bottle, and she'll be really, you know, then she can really try to feel comfortable to go to sleep. And make sure your house is nice and warm. If it's cold, she's not going to sleep. So make sure she's in something warm and your house is warm, and cover her up in a blanket. Just make sure she doesn't get really hot. But they just want to be nice and warm, because when they're on your chest with all that body heat, that's exactly how they want to be. So just go ahead and try those. If they do not work, let me know, and I can try to find some other tips for you. So this is from JWR and JJP. That was really long. So we're talking about the bowel movements in your baby. Okay. Yeah, this is how my daughter was to swell. Now, if you're giving her formula, it's normal for them not to poop every day. My daughter would not poop. She'd poop like every 3 to 4 days. So that's normal. As long as they're pooping every 3 to 4 days, if it goes over 5 days, then you should be worried, okay? If you're breastfeeding, it's normal for them to poop every day because they digest it a lot faster. So, you're saying she has diarrhea. First, you want to make sure there's a lot of different causes for diarrhea. Let me see. She could be allergic to the formula that you're giving her. If she's being really fussy, especially, how old is your daughter? Your 2-week-old daughter? So if she try changing the formula, maybe try a soy one, because it helps them a lot better. So you didn't tell me what kind of formula you were using, or if you're using just breast milk. So if you're using formula, try changing up the formula. I had to change my baby formula like twice because she wasn't taking the Gerber, or what was the other one, the Similac. She only takes the Enfamil, so she was really sick on the other one. So make sure, try changing the formula that you're using and see if that helps first off. Now, you're also talking about if she's dehydrated. So ways to know if she's being dehydrated: if she's having a lot of diaper changes and you see there's a lot of pee in them, she's not dehydrated at all. If she's going a long time without peeing a lot, then I would be worried. But if she's normally peeing all the time and you're diaper changing her and her diapers are wet a lot, then she should be fine. She's not dehydrated at all. Now, causes for the diarrhea are so many different things. So it could be a viral infection. If she's vomiting as well, is your baby daughter. If she's throwing up and vomiting, then she has a viral infection. It can be a bacterial infection. If she has a fever, then it's bacterial, and also she has blood in her stool. So if she has any of those two things, it's a bacterial infection. You also want to check if she has an ear infection as well. If she's pulling on her ears, that can also cause diarrhea. It's so weird how an ear infection can cause diarrhea, right? So you definitely want to make sure, what kind. Make sure you take her temperature, because she could be sick, that's probably why she's, throwing up, having a lot of diarrhea and stuff. It could be a growth spurt. If it's a growth spurt, when my nephew went through his, he would eat, he was little, so he would eat 2 ounces first, and then he would go to 5 ounces, fast, he would be hungry right after. So if you're feeding 2 weeks, if you're feeding them like 2 ounces or something, and they're like going to 4 ounces and they're finishing it on, they're still hungry, that could be a growth spurt. But she's not even taking that much. You're only giving her 2.5 and then 3 ounces. That's usually normal for a 2-week-old baby anyways. So I don't think it's a growth spurt. But if she's being really fussy and crying and stuff like that, it could be an infection. So you just want to make sure you try different things, like changing her formula first of all. If that works, that's what it was. If not, it might be an infection. I would take her to your doctor only if she has like a fever, or if she's vomiting, or she's pulling on her ears a lot, then that could be an ear infection. So just make sure, look at the little signs that your baby gives you. If not, she could just be fussy and cranky one day and then maybe not the other day. With the diarrhea though, I wouldn't try to give her any like medicine for it, because you want to make sure, you don't want to give her medicine. Maybe she's just allergic to the milk you're giving her. So this is from Trice's Baby. You gave me some ideas on some videos to do. One was what I wish I would have known before baby, or what mommy needs to know before baby, or time management tips after baby. So let me know which one you guys would want to see, and I can post them here. If you guys have any more questions, go ahead and post it again. I will leave the link to the website on the bottom of this video, and I will also link this video onto the website so you guys can check it out as well. If you guys don't have an account for YouTube, just go ahead and sign up, and then you guys can comment and all that kind of stuff if you guys have any more questions. So those are the 3 questions that I got for yesterday. If you guys have any more questions, I'll try to make a video later tonight, or it will be again tomorrow in the morning. So I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy your babies, because they're just so precious. And mine's already 12 weeks old, so she's not a little baby anymore, so I kind of missed that. So I hope your guys' babies are doing really well, and I hope these tips help you guys out. If you guys need any more help with anything, just go ahead and contact me. All right? Have a good day.